What's up guys and welcome back. For today's video, I'd like to go over the brand new upcoming Spider-Man PS4 game. What exactly do we know so far? That's pretty much going to be the point of this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, so yeah, let's get right into it. A while ago, there were rumors about this new Spider-Man game in the works. A lot of people thought that maybe Sucker Punch might be working on the game, cause you know they're working on a secret project, which is open world and fun apparently. But at E3 2016, it was revealed that Insomniac Games, the creator of Ratchet & Clank and Sunset Overdrive, is the one developing the game. Now that was very unexpected. Insomniac Games working on a Spider-Man game? It's crazy. All I'm gonna say is that I'm happy for Insomniac Games. They're working on a pretty huge franchise. It's Marvel we're talking about. It's Spider-Man we're talking about. He's a pretty cool character. He's my favorite. Having the developer of Ratchet & Clank and Sunset Overdrive working on a brand new Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4 is just insane. Marvel and Insomniac Games working together is just awesome. Now, how did this whole process begin? How did Insomniac Games get involved with Marvel in the first place? It's pretty simple, I guess. Sony got into contact with Marvel and eventually Insomniac's Ted Price and the creative director had a conversation. They were like, hey, why not work on a Spider-Man game? That's pretty much it. They all agreed and we got a gameplay, and I gotta say, it looks amazing. Wait, did we really get a gameplay? Actually, the trailer that we got at E3 2016 is all gameplay according to Insomniac Games. It's not cinematic, so that being gameplay is just insane. Like, the game looks absolutely amazing. Alright, this brand new Spider-Man game still doesn't have an official name, we just call it Spider-Man PS4 for now. According to Marvel and Insomniac Games, this Spider-Man game is standalone. No movie tie-in whatsoever. It's its own thing. A new Spider-Man movie is in the works. The new game has nothing to do with it. And for those of you wondering, is this going to be PS4 exclusive? Yes. I know this might upset Xbox fans, but it is what it is. I guess this is the deal Marvel and Sony made. Anyways, like I just said, this game is going to be standalone, but it's going to be inspired by movies and comics. It is its own thing, but some elements in the game will be inspired by comics and movies we've seen. Now for the engine, it's going to run on the same engine Ratchet & Clank ran on. Ratchet & Clank PS4 looks stunning, so no complaints. And just by looking at the trailer, the graphics look pretty great. This new game will be open world, so we can pretty much roam around Manhattan. And if I'm not mistaken, Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 2 was also open world, so fans are pretty much excited about it. Now for the gameplay, what am I gonna say? It looks insane, it's awesome. We have Spider-Man flying around through the city, walking up walls, buildings, smashing through restaurants, coffee shops. We can also use the environment to our advantage. We can throw a bunch of objects onto enemies. I mean, look, the game is open world. We're talking about a huge city. Insomniac Games has a lot of freedom, so they can get creative. Alright, visuals, stunning. Gameplay, awesome. However, what about the story? When it comes to Spider-Man games, the story is not the strongest point, according to some reviews and fans. We're talking about Insomniac Games. They can handle it. Plus, the game is its own standalone thing. They don't have to follow a movie script. And about that, this brings me to Ratchet & Clank PS4. The gameplay was awesome. However, the story felt a bit rushed. And why? Because the game was based off a movie. Insomniac Games didn't have that much freedom. When it comes to Spider-Man PS4, they have a lot of freedom. They can get creative. They don't have to follow a movie. It's a standalone game. They have time to focus on the gameplay and story. They don't have any limitations or restrictions. Now, according to Insomniac and Marvel, the story will not only focus on Spider-Man, but also on the guy in the suit, Peter Parker. Now, how will they do that? They didn't really explain much, so we'll just have to wait for updates and stuff. We'll probably see Peter Parker without his outfit in a new gameplay or a story trailer. When will we get a new gameplay trailer? No one knows. Here's a cool fact. A lot of workers at Insomniac are huge fans of Spider-Man, so that's a bonus. If they're a huge fan of something, they're pretty much gonna pour their heart out. And because of that, the story might be a lot better than the previous Spider-Man games. So should we worry about the story? Probably not. I'm just saying, alright? Marvel and Insomniac Games are pretty much always in contact. During an interview, it was mentioned that the offices of Insomniac and Marvel were 10 minutes far from each other, so these two pretty much have a great connection. Okay, during the gameplay trailer, it seems like Spider-Man is pretty skilled. Yes, that's what Marvel and Insomniac Games are aiming for. They want a Spider-Man who's pretty much skilled, who's learned a lot. And this brings me to the white Spider-Man symbol on his suit. let's talk about the suit. The suit overall looks great, I'm a fan, but the white spider? I don't know, I'm like so used to the black spider and not a lot of fans are liking the new design. But it grew on me, I actually like it now. If you notice, the white spider pretty much spreads around his arms and hands. That's a pretty cool feature. Why did Insomniac Games and Marvel decide to go with the color white? Does it have any meaning? Yes, according to Insomniac Games. Did they explain anything? No. But I've done a bit of research and the white color represents innocence, wholeness, completion, purity, protection, a new beginning, perfection. Since the Peter Parker in this game looks pretty skilled, we could pretty much say he's a perfect form of Spider-Man. And maybe that's what the white color represents. Maybe that's why Insomniac Games decided to go with the white spider. It represents who Peter Parker is in this version of Spider-Man. White color can also be described as perfect beginning. Now the suit has some cool details, especially the eyes. I like how the black surrounding the white kinda takes over when he's moving his eyes. If we take a closer look at his suit, we can notice that the white surrounding his arms is actually the arms of the spider we see on his chest. That's a pretty cool detail. For the web shooters, we can't really notice them, they're like pretty much well implemented into the suit. But we can definitely notice like a black button on his palm. Now Spider-Man will be voiced by Yuri Lowenthal. This guy has done a lot of voice acting in his life, from video games to movies. And if some of you watch some Sly Cooper content on this channel, he's actually the one who voiced Sir Gareth Cooper in Sly Cooper 4, Thieves in Time. When I found out, I was like, what? Really? Like, I love Sly Cooper. This guy voiced one of the characters in one of those games. It's great. Now for a demo, nothing's been confirmed. There won't be any demo anytime soon, according to Insomniac Games. Since the game still doesn't have an official name, it's still in the early stages. We don't even have an official release date. A short while back, GameStop on their website showed that the game would release on December 26, 2017. However, Insomniac Games confirmed that what we see on GameStop is simply a placeholder. It's not the official release date. Alright, like I said before, this game is standalone, but that doesn't stop Insomniac Games and Marvel from adding in villains we've already seen. And this brings me to the Easter eggs. Now these might be considered spoiler, I just thought of mentioning it, alright? Now during the gameplay we noticed these guys in masks. According to the comic book series, these guys are the Inner Demons, and their boss is Martin Lee, aka Mr. Negative. Martin Lee / Mr. Negative first appeared in the comics in 2007. He was apparently given an experimental drug, and because of that, he gained these electrical powers. And he pretty much used that to form a gang and take over Chinatown. So seeing his gang members, the Inner Demons, in the gameplay could possibly hint towards Martin Lee. For a very brief moment, we can notice Martin Lee's soup kitchen, feast, and Aunt May, Peter Parker's aunt, volunteered at that place. And this is according to the comics, not the game. We don't know the story of the game yet. What does feast stand for? It stands for food, emergency aid, shelter, and training. So there you have it. Next, for a slight second, we can notice a sign saying Osborn for mayor. Osborn is also known as the Green Goblin. Now the Green Goblin is pretty popular in the comic series. Osborn works for Oscorp. So to keep things short, Osborn is just a power-hungry man. Now will Martin Lee and Osborn come to any disagreements? Will the game have two villains? That's the question. Next, we can notice something minor, I guess. We can notice the Daily Beagle in the coffee shop. Is it a coffee shop, a restaurant? Anyways. Peter Parker takes photos for that journal. It's a little nice thing we can notice during the gameplay. Now some of you may ask, how long will it take for the game to get developed? Will it take 2 years? According to Insomniac Games, 2 years hasn't been confirmed. They simply said stay tuned. So will it take less than 2 years? More than 2 years? No one knows for now. Since we won't be getting any demo anytime soon, I'm guessing that the game is still in early stages. Plus, the game doesn't have an official name yet. Maybe it might be Spider-Man PS4 in the end. But no one knows what Marvel and Insomniac Games might decide to do with the name. So there you have it guys, this is pretty much it for the video. Now if I forgot to mention anything major, just mention it in the comment section. Other than that, share your thoughts, and as always, I've been Vivi and thanks for watching guys.